Lined up. We have Mayuresh Joshi of Angel Broking, who is here to answer all of your stock queries, and Nikhil Kochari of Etica Wealth Management on our personal finance corner. So I think we have our first caller. We have Anu, who calls in from Mumbai, and she has investments in GMR Infra. Anu, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, I'm calling from Mumbai. I have GMR Infra I bought it 1,000 shares at the rate of 21.
Okay.
And I can wait for long, but don't really know, how long or shall I make an exit from this?
Okay. Are you willing to maybe take some losses and then move into brighter prospects?
I would rather prefer to stay in the stock.
And
if for a year max.
Okay. Recoup your losses and then maybe exit. That would be your plan.
Yeah.
Okay, Mayuresh, what would you recommend to Anu? She would prefer to hold on to GMR Infra, possibly a horizon of 1 year, maybe make back at least what she bought the stock at, and then possibly look to, shift into another stock. Do you think that from 12 it can go to around her buy price of 20-22 rupees?
Afternoon, Ekta. Very difficult looking at the operational performance of GMR Infra. And though the management has tried and made a lot of efforts in reducing its debt overall with a lot of exercises conducted, I think the overall business does not generate that much amount of free cash flows. And again, I think the debt on their books has been a long deterrent. So if you look at the performance, the losses of 892 crores, I think the finance cost itself comes to around 967 crores for the quarter. And servicing of this interest, I think, takes a huge toll on the profit margins of this company. So clearly, I think from a year's perspective, very difficult to achieve the cost price that the investor has bought the stock at. But again, I think if she is willing to hold on for a greater period of time, I think she has to have a lot of patience. But at a year's perspective, I do not believe the cost price would be achieved. So I think if she can exit the stock on rallies, I think that will be a better option. The better options to probably go in this market with a year's time horizon would be financials or selective pharma counters. I think you're liking Yes Bank, Aurobindo Pharma, where we believe the earnings growth will be far better than sticking around with the GMR.
All right, hope that advice works for you. Anu, up next we have Megha, who's written to us from Mumbai. She says she has invested in the SBI Life Unit Plus 2 regular plan in 2008 with a premium amount of about 50,000 rupees. So she's paid the premium now for 3 years and then she discontinued. Now she wants to know that the fund value is about 2.3 lakhs. So she wants to know what we should do here. She should withdraw, she should continue, or should she pay the premium? Will there be any penalty? Nikhil?
Yeah, first of all, what she have bought is a ULIP plan. And the cardinal rule of investment insurance is that you should keep them separately. So you should keep your insurance separate and investment separately. What she has done is that in this product you have an insurance plus you have investments. This type of product got a lot of charges. There's a fund management charges, there's a policy allocation charges, there's a premium admission charges, mortality charges, and so on. The policy which she's talking about, in this policy, the first year charges was around 25%. So the 100 rupees what she invested, only 75 rupees was invested, and 25 rupees goes as a policy allocation charges. The next 2 years was 7.5%, fourth and fifth year was 5%, and after that it's 2% every year. So and apart from that, there are other charges like mortality, policy administration, and fund management charges. So the policy has got a lot of charges inbuilt in that. And so what I would recommend is that whenever you buy a ULIP product, you should always look at the charges, and you should only buy products which have got a very low charges. Or the best part is that keep your insurance, buy a term insurance, and keep your investment separately. In her policy, she needs to look at the surrender charges. I think there will be some surrender charges because normally this policy has surrender charges up to 5 years, and some policy have up to 10 years. But in spite of that, what I'll say is that doesn't make sense to pay further premiums because the charges will be higher and the return which you will generate will not be very good. So she should not pay any further premium. With regard to surrender, she should look at the charges. If the charges are very low, say 1 or 2%, then she can surrender the policy and get the money. If the charges are very high, then I will say her to hold for some time and withdraw once the charges are over.
Okay, all right. So that is our personal finance query. We get another stock query in now. Preeti writes to us from Bangalore and she wants to invest 5,000 rupees, preferably in the banking sector. She wants some advice on the same. Mayuresh, what would you advise Preeti? She has 5,000 rupees. Would you advise her to buy a lot of one stock or maybe diversify a little and buy maybe a couple of shares of different banking stocks? And also a lot of the PSU banks are extremely cheap at this time. Would you recommend her to possibly dip into a couple of them?
Oh yes, I think a mix of both would be a preferred strategy, and clearly I think out of the two, I think State Bank within the PSU space, how the amount you can allocate towards that stock. The performance has been mixed. So I think the cross slippages came to a 12-quarter low. I think the restructuring of books was significantly higher. And again, I think the kind of balance sheet that State Bank has, it will be very prudent to assume that in terms of valuations, the balance sheet growth should be quite stupendous over the next couple of years. The net stress loan ratio at 6.4, the CET1, the core capital adequacy ratio at 9.5%, the retail deposits make 95%. So I think it's got a strong liability franchise as well. And credit growth should start picking up over the next couple of quarters. I think it's got a strong balance sheet within the PSU pack. And again, valuation is extremely attractive at around 0.9 times price to book FY17 earnings. So clearly, I think the ROEs that are expected at around 14-15% should come through the next couple of years, which holds the bank in good stead. Similarly, I think on the private side, ICICI Bank is something that we continue to like along with Axis and Yes. So for ICICI, I think the numbers again have been a tad bit disappointing, and the asset quality, the gross net asset ratio came at 3.78%. The net asset ratio slipped around 1.61%. But again, the management commentary was extremely positive. So I think the management outlook generally for the business in terms of credit growth, curtailing of their operating costs and credit costs being curtailed at sustainable levels, along with the balance sheet size and along with the branch network, I think that should aid and fuel the balance sheet growth going forward. Again, capital adequacy at 12.9% is significantly higher than most PSU banks, which would aid balance sheet expansion. So I think the ROE is at around 16%, ROE is close to 1.8, and on a price to book of around 1.2 at 517 earnings, I think it looks extremely attractively valued. So again, I think ICICI with a target of 394 and State Bank with a target of 340, something that I'd suggest with a time horizon of 12 months.
All right, that's the word coming in from Mayuresh, but I guess it's time.
Now, other query then, we have Gudu Khan who calls in from Chandigarh, and he has investments in Tata Power. Gudu, go ahead.
जी
हाँ जी, आपका सवाल.
मेरे पास टाटा पावर है 77.35 की रेट पे 375 शेयर्स हैं और इसको मतलब आगे मतलब इस टाइम तो थोड़ा पॉजिटिव आया है, लेकिन इसका मतलब आगे कॉस्ट निकल जाएगी या मतलब कट आउट करना चाहिए इसको शॉर्ट व्यू, मतलब 2 से 3 महीने में मतलब ज्यादा पॉजिटिव आ सकता है या?
Okay. All right. Mayuresh, I think Gudu is quite clear about what his question is. He would like to know what the prospects of Tata Power is, at least in the next 2 to 3 odd months. And it has been in news today, it's seeing a good fillip today. There are reports of that possible refinancing also of its loan. But what would you advise him from a 2 to 3 year perspective? A 2 to 3 month perspective.
So I'll answer the question in Hindi for his convenience. तो मेरे ख्याल से जो टाटा पावर्स के नंबर्स आए थे एक मिक्स बैग से थे कि जो माइनिंग की सब्सिडीज है, जो कोल का बिजनेस हैंडल करती है, एक 20 मिलियन टन का इनका आउटपुट था, रियलाइजेशन घट गया क्योंकि कोल प्राइसेस घटी थी। हालांकि इनका कैश प्रोडक्शन, जो कैश कॉस्ट होती है प्रोडक्शन, वो भी घटी थी। हालांकि आई थिंक उनकी जो सब्सिडरी परफॉर्मेंसेज है माइथॉन को लेके, मुंद्रा यूएनपीपी को लेके, वहाँ पे डिप्रिसिएशन एडजस्टमेंट की वजह से काफी फायदा हुआ था बुक्स पे। But clearly, I think for the stock to react positively, fundamentally, I think जो compensatory tariff का इनको एक जो benefit मिला था, वो अगर अकाउंट करने लगते हैं उसके बाद ही कुछ I think extraction दिखेगा, and that probably will happen at 517 onwards. 1.2 1.3 टाइम्स प्राइस टू बुक पे ट्रेड करता है, तो ये स्टिल मेंटेनिंग अ न्यूट्रल स्टांस. तो आपकी जो कॉस्ट प्राइस है वो शायद रिकवर हो जाए 3 महीने में, बट दैट प्राइस आई थिंक यू शुड प्रॉब्ली एग्जिट द स्टॉक. यही स्पेस में रहना है तो मैं रिकमेंड करूंगा पावर ग्रिड. हालांकि आई थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ अर्निंग्स ट्रेजेक्टरी एक रेगुलेटेड आरओई मॉडल है जो एक स्टेबल अर्निंग्स ग्रोथ देता है ऑफ अराउंड 15.5% इज द रेगुलेटेड आरओई. और जैसे इनकी केपेक्स प्लान्स है फॉर द नेक्स्ट 2 years ऑफ 22,500 crores, और जैसे इनका कैपिटल वर्किंग प्रोग्रेस है बैलेंस शीट पे 56,000 करोड़ के आसपास, कैपिटलाइजेशन शुड बी प्रीटी स्ट्रॉन्ग. सो आई थिंक केपेक्स इज स्ट्रॉन्ग, कैपिटलाइजेशन शुड रिमेन स्ट्रॉन्ग ओवर द नेक्स्ट 2 years, जिसका मतलब आई थिंक जो बैलेंस शीट ग्रोथ है दैट शुड रिमेन प्रीटी स्टेडी. अगेन ऑन वैल्यूएशन पर्सपेक्टिव एट 1.5 टाइम प्राइस टू बुक काफी अट्रैक्टिवली प्लेस्ड है. सो एट दैट पॉइंट आई थिंक कैन प्रॉब्ली स्विच टू पावर ग्रिड, एंड अगेन आई थिंक वी आर मेंटेनिंग अ टारगेट ऑफ 170.
All right, Guru, I hope that's good advice and I hope it works for you as well. Up next, Anurag calls in from Delhi. Hi Anurag, how can we help you?
Hello ma'am, good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon to you as well. Go ahead.
Actually, it's some personal finance, I required some questions.
Sure.
One is, actually I'm investing in some mutual fund for last 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
One is Birla Sun Life Frontline Equity Fund where I'm investing 3,000 per month. For last 5 years.
Okay.
And another is HDFC Top 200 Fund where I'm investing 3,000 per month for last 5 years.
Okay.
And another is Sundaram Medicare Select Fund where I'm investing 3,000 for last 4 years.
Okay.
So my time horizon is I require 50 lakhs in 15 years.
Okay.
And the 50 lakhs in 25 years. And 5 crores in 30 years.
Okay.
So I have 2 years daughter, for her education I need 50 lakhs, and for her marriage I need 50 lakhs.
Okay.
And my retirement, for my retirement I need around 5 crores. And also investing 3,000 per month in PPF.
Okay.
Okay. So just I wanted to know whether these funds are good enough to get my goals, or should I select something? And one another thing. When I visited my portfolio, I found that Sundaram Midcap is giving far much better return than HDFC and BSLI.
Okay.
Okay, so as my time horizon is long term, so should I, switch to Sundaram Midcap or some Midcap funds and all? That's why I wanted to know.
Okay, Nikhil, he is already investing about 15,000 rupees from various time horizons. So I guess 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So currently his monthly SIP is 15,000 rupees a month in 3 funds, right? His goal is 15 lakhs, I guess, in 10 years, I think. Is that what he said? 50 lakhs in 15 years. And he also needs 5 crores for his retirement, which is in the next 30 years odd. Do you think he's on track with this investment of 15,000? Is he on track to meet his goals? What is the kind of corpus that he can hope to accumulate?
Okay. His first goal, which is 50 lakh in 15 years, the same can be achieved by doing a monthly investment of 10,000 rupees, which is already doing in 3 funds. So the first goal will be very much achieved, which is 50 lakh. But the other goal, which is 5 crores in 30 years, for that he has to do incremental SIPs to achieve that goal. And his PPF can be linked to his retirement, but the 3 funds can be linked to his daughter's education, which can be in the next 15 years. So he has to increase his SIP going forward. With regard to his funds, he can't compare a Birla HDFC to Sundaram Select Midcap, because Birla Sun Life Frontline Equity Fund and HDFC Top 200 Fund are large cap biased fund, so they invest in large cap stocks, and Sundaram Select Midcap invest in mid cap stocks. So these two are 2 different segments altogether. So in the large cap category, HDFC Top 200 and Birla Frontline Equity Fund are very good fund. He can continue investing in that. On a mid cap space, Sundaram Midcap is doing good, and he can continue hold on to that. With regard to additional investment, for the first investment, he should keep his investment in large cap bias funds only, because that's more of an education goal and that's more of a mandatory goal. With regard to his retirement, he can look at adding more mid-cap funds, because his risk appetite is higher and has a good time horizon. So he can look at adding Mirae Asset Emerging Blue Chip Fund or UTI Mid Cap Fund in his mid cap portfolio. But going forward, he has to increase his SIP to achieve the goal. He can look at increasing SIP in all these 4 funds only, because it doesn't make sense to add too many funds in the portfolio, because every fund is also well diversified with the 50-60 stocks. So what I recommend, increase your SIPs, add a mid cap fund to your overall portfolio, and the current funds just keep on holding on to them.
Okay, well, time for a break now, but some updates on